Around the world, some traditions challenge our idea of what's normal. In Indonesia, some tribes keep their dead inside their homes for years before burial. In India, some women need to marry a tree before marrying a man. And if there's a place with even more surprising customs, it's Africa. This continent has hundreds of cultures and traditions that change from region to region. In Kenya, some tribes have extreme physical challenges for boys becoming men. In Zimbabwe, ceremonies bring the spirits of the dead back home after a spiritual journey. But in Uganda, one tradition will leave you speechless. Before we start, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our posts. Without further ado, let's go. Uganda is in the heart of East Africa, surrounded by South Sudan to the north, Kenya to the east, Tanzania and Rwanda to the south, and the Democratic Republic of Congo to the west. That means no beaches here. The country has no coast and is completely surrounded by land. But that doesn't mean there's a shortage of water. This country has some of the most amazing lakes on the continent, including Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa, and the second largest freshwater lake on the planet. And there's more. The source of the Nile, the longest river in the world, is here, which shows how important this country is to Africa's geography. With about 93,065 square miles of area and a population of over 45 million people, this nation has another detail that surprises most people. It's incredibly young. If you're over 20, you'll feel like a grandpa or grandma because the average age in the country is between 16 and 18 years old, one of the youngest populations in the world. Uganda is a country of unique traditions, and many of them change depending on the tribe. The tradition of the Banyankole tribe, in the southwest of the country, is certainly among the most surprising in the world. Marriage is not just seen as a union between two people, but between two entire families. The bride's virginity is highly valued, and preparation for married life begins long before the ceremony. From childhood, girls are taught by their mothers and aunts about their future responsibilities as wives and homemakers. In some communities, it's common for young women to go through a period of fattening up before marriage, as a larger body is seen as a sign of fertility and prosperity. The groom's family also has its own rituals and preparations. A traditional marriage usually involves a dowry paid by the groom to the bride's family, which can include cattle, money, and other valuable goods. This dowry symbolizes respect and recognition from the new family. Wedding festivities can last for several days, with celebrations that include dancing, music, and large feasts. In addition, the ceremony is full of symbolism and blessings from the elders, ensuring that the union will be prosperous and lasting. In Uganda, getting married is not just an event between two people. Here, it involves the whole family, strict customs, and sometimes practices that defy logic. But this is just a small example of the countless traditions and cultural riches that make this country one of the most fascinating in the world. Relationships before marriage, if discovered, can result in severe ostracism or even extreme punishments. But the most shocking thing about this tradition is the role of the bride's aunt. Yes, the aunt. She is responsible for ensuring that the marriage is successful and that her niece knows how to please her husband. And how does she do it? By applying two tests on the wedding night. In many tribes in the country, aunts play an essential role in the lives of their nieces, teaching them about marriage, responsibilities, and adult life. So far, so normal. After all, sometimes it's much easier and less embarrassing to talk to an aunt than to your own mother about certain topics. Except in one specific tribe in Uganda, the aunt doesn't just talk, she has a much more active role on the wedding night. Have you heard of the ritual where the aunt sleeps with her niece's fiancé before the wedding to make sure everything goes well? Well, yes, it may seem unbelievable, but this is just one of the many curious traditions that make Uganda a country full of customs that defy all logic. If there's one thing Uganda does well, it's surprise. And when it comes to natural beauty, Lake Victoria stands out, so large it looks like an inland sea. This immense body of water is home to the source of the Nile, one of the legendary river's headwaters. In addition to offering this iconic spot, you can go whitewater rafting or even bungee jumping. Continuing northwest, we find Murchison Falls, where the Nile River plunges through a narrow gorge, creating a waterfall over 130 feet high. Besides the breathtaking view, the region also offers epic safaris where you can spot elephants, giraffes, lions, and even giant crocodiles. Now, if you think you've seen it all, Wait until you hear this. Uganda has lions that climb trees. In Queen Elizabeth National Park, the big cats perch on branches to escape the heat and flies, creating a scene worthy of a documentary. Another great treasure of Uganda is the mountain gorillas. The Bwindi impenetrable forest is home to half of the world's remaining gorillas. A very expensive trek gives you the right to be face to face with a family of these giants, an experience described as unique and exciting. Another option to see them is Magahinga Gorilla National Park, on the border with Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And who would say that in an equatorial country, you could see snow-capped mountains? Well, the Rwenzori Mountains in western Uganda can reach over 16,000 feet. Up there are glaciers and freezing temperatures, a reality check for those who were in the heat of the rest of the country. Uganda is not just another East African country. The legacy of ancient kingdoms ruled fertile lands crossed by trade routes. These kingdoms had their own monarchies, languages, and administrative systems long before outside influences arrived. Over the centuries, the territory suffered invasions and external influences, first with the arrival of Arab traders, then with the Europeans. At the end of the 19th century, it became a British protectorate, and it was during this time that intense changes took place. Railroads, new religions, and a complete political restructuring. Talking about contemporary Uganda without mentioning the post-independence period in 1962 would be impossible. The country went through turmoil, especially in the 1970s, under Idi Amin's authoritarian regime marked by persecution, exile, and serious human rights violations. Years later, internal conflicts gave way to the arrival of Yoweri Museveni to power in 1986, establishing a controversial but relatively stable government. These changes shaped not only the country's economy but also how the world sees Uganda, often associating it with conflicts or closed regimes. But just land there to see a very different reality: vibrant cities, universities, connected young people, and a people thirsty for prosperity. Ugandan cuisine is full of surprises. If there's one ingredient that reigns supreme on the country's menu, it's the plantain. Uganda is one of the world's largest producers, and there it appears in everything: boiled, fried, roasted, in porridge, or even in crispy chips. But the most traditional is matoke, a puree of cooked green plantains that accompanies practically every meal. If you're walking down the street and someone offers you a Rolex, don't think they're selling you a luxury watch. In Uganda, Rolex means rolled eggs, and it's nothing more than a well-seasoned omelette rolled in chapati, a flatbread typical of South Asia. But if you're looking for something really unusual, Uganda can surprise you. During certain times of the year, clouds of locusts invade some regions of the country, and what do the locals do? They remove their wings and legs and fry them until crispy. The snack, known as nenen, is said to taste like a mix between bacon and popcorn, and many people eat it like potato chips. Another typical dish is posho, a kind of corn porridge widely consumed among local communities. Goat meat and freshwater fish, especially from Lake Victoria, are also highly appreciated and are part of the Ugandan diet. Uganda is a true mosaic of cultures, with over 56 tribes, each with its own language, music, dance, and customs. This diversity makes the country one of the most culturally rich on the African continent. Each tribe has rituals and practices that can shock or fascinate any visitor. And one of the most curious is precisely the role of the aunt at the wedding. The tradition among the Banyankole, a tribe from southwestern Uganda, is that the bride's aunt must make sure her niece is ready for marriage. This means that not only does she teach her about married life, but she can take an active role on the wedding night, testing the groom to make sure he will be a good husband. Despite these peculiar practices, Uganda is a country with a rich cultural diversity and deep respect for its traditions. In addition to marriage rituals, the daily life of Ugandans is full of customs and ceremonies that reflect the people's identity. Hospitality is a fundamental value in Ugandan society, and visitors are often greeted with food, music, and stories shared by elders. Ugandans are known for their vibrant festivities and strong connection to their cultural roots. Each tribe has its own way of celebrating special occasions, and traditional dances and songs play a crucial role in these celebrations. During weddings, festivals, and religious ceremonies, it's common to see dance performances to the rhythm of drums and typical instruments. Music is a way of telling stories, expressing emotions, and preserving the cultural heritage of the tribes. Religion also plays an important role in the lives of Ugandans. Christianity and Islam are the two main religions in the country, but many communities still maintain ancestral beliefs and rituals. In some regions, it's common to hold ceremonies to honor the spirits of ancestors and seek protection for the harvest or for important moments in life. Churches and mosques are places of community gathering and strengthening, where people come together to pray, share experiences, and celebrate faith. In everyday life, the family structure in Uganda is still based on traditional values. The figure of the elder is highly respected, and important community decisions are usually made with the guidance of elders. Family ties are strong, and it's common for several generations to live together in the same house or in nearby villages. The concept of community is essential in daily life. Despite modernization and the growth of cities, many ancestral practices are still preserved, especially in rural areas. In the countryside, agriculture remains the main economic activity, and life follows a simpler rhythm, connected to the land. People wake up early to work on the plantations, cook their food in clay ovens, and end the day gathered around the fire, sharing stories and strengthening family bonds. Social and economic changes in Uganda have affected some traditions, but the country's cultural identity remains strong. Many tribes are finding ways to balance ancient customs with the new realities of the modern world. Young Ugandans have access to education and social media, allowing them to share their experiences and promote debates about the future of their communities. Cultural tourism has also grown, attracting visitors interested in learning more about the country's traditions and history. The challenges of keeping traditions alive in a globalized world are many, but Ugandans have shown resilience and pride in their heritage. Some controversial practices are being reconsidered, while others continue to be preserved as part of the country's cultural heritage. Uganda remains a place of diversity, where the past and present meet in a unique way, forming a society that values its roots while adapting to the transformations of the contemporary world. Uganda, an unforgettable destination. Uganda is a complete tourist destination, offering everything from adventure and contact with nature to cultural immersion and encounters with wildlife. With stunning landscapes, a rich history, and a vibrant culture, Uganda promises an unforgettable trip. If you are looking for an authentic adventure, off the beaten path, Uganda is the place for you. Explore the wild beauty of Uganda, experience the hospitality of the Ugandan people, and discover a destination that will stay with you forever. Did you know these curious facts about Uganda? Share in the comments what surprised you the most, and if you liked today's video, please support us by liking and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to check out the video that appears on your screen now. I'm sure you'll find it fascinating. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.